Good afternoon, everybody, and I'm really excited to be here with all of you. Would have loved to be face to face, but this pandemic actually ensures that we kind of connect virtually. Okay, I'm going to just put up a few slides which will help me to share my thoughts with you on how this pandemic is actually shaping our lives and what it could mean for us as businesses. Okay. We have all, as employees, customers, human beings, have been experiencing this phenomena since uh, over about 7 months, 8 months, and we don't really have a timeline in terms of what would it end like and what would it look like thereafter. But having stayed at home, what has happened is that uh, we heard that to be safe, to ensure that this pandemic doesn't spread, we need to stay at home. And staying at home meant safety. And we kind of locked ourselves out. We believed that by staying and maintaining social distance, it would possibly help flatten the curve. As time went by, we don't seem to see that still settling. Fueled with that was the impact of income, uncertainty of incomes, uh, continuing expenses. However, drop in income levels for all of us has resulted in a lot of anxiety. This anxiety, coupled with the fact that, uh, hello, am I audible? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Okay. So these increased anxiety levels, which also has an impact. You have uh, small houses, people all uh, cocooned in the same place, not sure as to what was going to be the income levels going to be. When would we be able to go out and meet our friends? I'll talk about some of my personal experiences here as well before I move forward. Is that children? Uh, Hello, yeah. Uh, am I audible? I think I'm on a pause. I think I'm on a bad network.
You are audible, Mr. Vora.
Okay. So anxiety levels have gone up. People are kind of stressed. There is uncertainty of incomes, as I mentioned. But at the same time, there are certain good things which have happened with this, which is, mother always mentioned many years ago that घर का खाना अच्छा होता है. When you come home, please ensure that you leave the juta bahar, come back, come in and take a shower before you start anything else. Those are things which have started. People coming together, families have come together. They eat meals together. At my house, I can see that all of us over the last 7 8 months have had all lunch, dinner, breakfast, almost everything together as a family, kind of bonding well, meeting together with our people over Zoom connections. So those are some of the positives that I think that are coming out of this COVID. New learning habits for many of us. Possibly, I never ventured into the kitchen ever in my life, but now comes a weekend and my kids are waiting for dad ke kitchen ka khana kab milega. So those are some of the things that have possibly come out of it. But while we look at these positives, I also want to draw back to some of the changes which have happened because of uncertainty in income levels. There is a fear of the unknown. I'm not too sure as to how do I go about spending. I'm not too sure as to if I were to step out and meet an unknown person, am I really safe? Is the environment secure? What is it in future for me? Uh, so lots of concerning questions all around us. To add to it, we have these news channels flowing in a lot of information, throwing it to us every day, talking about the pandemic and how it is uh, impacting our lives. In fact, over the first 3 months, as we kept looking at the pandemic numbers, the daily breakfast discussion used to be what is the number today, and in terms of count increase, and what is the number looking like, and how would it be. Over a couple of months into that, we realized that this negative news that we are seeing, which is the hard reality, is possibly unnerving us and increasing our anxiety levels. Continuing to stay away from our family and friends uh, also kind of tends to put extra mental stress and pressure. And as I was saying, well, I had a poor connection, is that my kids, actually started revolting and saying that how long will I continue to be here? I have my college I'm not able to attend. What would happen to me in terms of my examinations? I have an exam to attend. I have an entrance of class 12. I am in my third year of engineering. What will I do? How do I really cope up with it? I'm seeing my wife, who is an academician and she teaches at a pharmacy college, and she's stressed, saying that how do I conduct my classes online? How do I do my practicals? What do I do? How do I deliver my jobs? And to add to it, you have parents at home who are worried that they haven't been going out for a walk for last 8 months, and kind of takes a head toll on their health. And you have some casualties in your family. Unfortunately, we had a couple where we lost some of our close ones to COVID. It all starts adding up into you and saying that what would it mean for us? So there's a lot of fear around it. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that makes it really exciting. And as I say, we are living in exciting times, and that's the way forward for us. So in these times of uncertainties, how do we ensure that we serve our customers? How do we ensure that there is minimum disruption? How do we ensure that while we are doing all of it, we take care of our employees? Now, many of us possibly are going to are starting to kind of walk into this as we slowly unlock. But some of us who work in the essential services category experience this way early, and many of us perhaps were not as prepared. Surely none of us expected it to last as long as it is today. But there was some preparedness in some of our organizations, some possibly a tad slower. But these were the challenges that we faced. And coming out of what I was talking about, the impact of the lockdown, the worries around people's minds about uncertainty of health, uncertainty of income, so much of anxiety, I believe that the first and the most important thing that we need to look at is the new need is safety and security is the prime concern of customers. Yeah. As we unlock and as customers start to kind of interact back with us and are reaching out, how do we ensure that they feel safe and secure? How do we give them that message that if you need to come to our physical offices or premises, you need to worry, we will take care. Now, no matter what you communicate, how you communicate, I think in my opinion, the best way to communicate is by your actions. Actions speak louder than words. A lot of, and I will again quote here stories of what I experienced and of how brands did so many different things. I have always heard of a company called Denso. Some of my friends who live out of Bangalore had used them and used to say a lot of good things about them. It was so interesting that, when this lockdown happened, a lot of my local retailers whom we used to purchase from actually partnered with Denso. So while my earlier purchases of groceries used to be to go out there and pick up my stuff, Denso became the new thing at home. Denso became the way everybody started talking. My entire community started saying that let's Denso it. We said brands actually helped us to say that if you don't need to come to me, don't come. I will come to you. I will give you a doorstep delivery. I have partnered with somebody. And if you do still need to come to me, we will ensure that there is a significant amount of security or precautions that we take, be it in terms of sanitization, be it in terms of checking your temperatures, to ensuring that there is adequate social distancing. Some brands actually even went forward to put up their own logos on the floor to kind of differentiate and demarcate the distance that you need to keep between fellow customers. It was very interesting to also note, while we have seen that, and we see this of India, that we are not a very disciplined community as such. But in these times, at least I noticed that while there were some miscreants, there were some incidences where people did not follow those norms, a lot of us actually continued to stay at home. A large majority of actually continued to maintain the social distance. A large majority of us continue to follow the direction given by the government of India. And we did it for our own safety. We did it for the safety of the ones that we loved, and we did it for the safety of the community at large. So that's something that I see as a behavior change, which is coming big time, that we need to be mindful of. At the same time, there are other experiences that I personally have that, as I have mentioned, I have senior citizen parents who live with me, And unfortunately, there were some health issues and I had to run out to get some medications. And I saw a couple of places where the local retailers did not use uh, the necessary precaution, necessary safety in terms of social distancing. And as a customer, as I walked in, I really felt very unsafe. I really felt that this is not the place that I would like to go to. And ever since that day, which is about 5 months ago, I haven't really gone back to any of those outlets. In my mind, I have realized that these are, or I have kind of chosen that this is not the place that I would love to deal with, I would like to buy from. This is not the place that I would kind of go and do my future business with. What I'm kind of pointing out to is that customers are mindful, customers are noticing these small actions that you take to help them, to take care, to show them that you really care for their safety and well-being. And if you don't, you are likely to lose customers. Uh, in the banking space, today we talk about a lot of things have moved digitally, but the initial period of the lockdown, a lot continued to be on the physical world still. People still continue to withdraw cash. Of course, the demonetization helped a lot of us to migrate to digital. We see a significant surge even pre-COVID, post-demon. Uh, However, the continued use of ATM and dependency on cash was significantly large. And a lot of banks actually use this and said that, we don't want you to come out of your houses if you need cash. They launched very quickly a mobile, as they call it, as bank on wheels. The mobile ATMs were visible across the country in locations where, and with prior intimations coming to residential societies that we are available, you could kind of withdraw cash whenever you are looking for cash. These were kind of things which I think in my mind helped a lot of us to feel more secure. We knew that if we had money, we were able to withdraw and we were able to transact and be there. Uh, Trying times, as we spoke, as when Srilakshmi mentioned that, these are testing times, 8, 9 months being at home. Emotionally, we are all sapped. Physically, of course, we are all become experts. We are sapped and become experts in Bartan, Jadu, Pocha. I've become an expert in that, as I mentioned to my wife jokingly. And we are all kind of coming together and beginning to understand how kind of sharing the load together as a family member is what we could do and find joy in it. But having said that, there is so much of things that we miss because ultimately human beings are social animals and we want to interact, we want to connect with people, we want to share our ideas, we want to meet and greet fellow friends. We need a physical hug. That's something that we always, as human beings, are looking for. Uh, of course, unfortunately, in these times, that's a big void, and we feel that many companies are beginning to engage. In fact, some of the companies that I know that one of them I work with uh, started as a small piece where we felt that because we didn't know the longevity of this particular event, and we said that it's a few weeks. Let us use this to sharpen our skills, and we kind of used online platforms to connect with teams, do sharing of best practices, sharing of ideas, reskill people, and it kind of was a fun way to connect at that point in time. And we realized that this is becoming a longer period, and at the same time, customers are missing us. Customers are feeling their anxiety. Being in the banking and financial services industry, customers were talking about what's happening to your interest rates. They are dropping big time. What's happening to the markets? Are you sure that these are the right places to invest? What do I do? And I can't reach you. What do I do? How do we connect? Webinars, we thought, were a brilliant way to connect, and a lot of us started that, and we continue to see amazing amount of interactions and amazing amount of participation from our customers and of course our employees, where we get leaders across those as subject matter expert of the chosen topic, and they kind of share their views and interact with our fellow customers and are able to really set their anxieties at peace, set them at peace, give them that comfort, help them to decide as to what is the course that they would wish to take. Along with it is a need to bond with our employees. See, ultimately, the experience is delivered by the last mile on the road is what we keep saying also. Of course, it is the job of the entire chain, but the employees are a very critical cog in the wheel. How do we ensure that they are engaged? How do we ensure that they continue to work from home be productive, of course, but at the same time, be happy about what they're doing and feel that they are contributing to the larger cause. So online activities, fun activities, getting their families together, celebrations online have been a new way that we have all discovered and are continuing to discover. And we believe this could be a way forward as well going. In fact, a lot of families are continuing to do so now. Interest-based subscriptions is being offered. Important that we realize is that, these are all aspects which are addressing the safety, with be it a physical safety or an emotional safety and security that we are talking about. At Kotak, we also launched mental health matters as a helpline. We kind of have a COVID helpline, doctors available for our employees if they need to have any consultation or discussions. Healthcare is becoming a very critical aspect as we go forward. Okay. The other imperative is, if we are saying to our customers, stay safe, stay home. Okay, it's a new norm, but we need to interact, we need to do business. How do we do so? One of the methods is, as we spoke in the earlier section, was to talk about how I can give you home deliveries. The second one is, how do I enable online? And you know that today, every one of us, including this session that we are doing, is virtual all the way. Yes, there are some issues that we would face because there could be bandwidth issues at times, but how do we connect virtually? Work from home, school from home, college from home, everything is on home. Family get-togethers, everything, banking from home, shopping karna hai, ghar se karo, yoga classes are on home, everything that you are thinking about is home. So if customers are enabled and are kind of comfortable doing online, and we are seeing a huge surge in the consumption of data in the country. In fact, I understand from one of my friends who works in a telco that one particular brand sold as much as 4 lakh dongles in a particular month in the first quarter of COVID. So in the month of April, May, is around 4 lakh in a month was sold, which is a significantly large number as I understand from him. Data consumption is going through the roof. And all this is meaning customers are adopting at a much faster pace to be online. This is a significant shift that we see to their consumption pattern, their behavior pattern. They were comfortable to do a brick and mortar interactions, some bit of digital, but we're seeing a significant shift moving to the digital world. What it means for us is that as we see a lot of first movers, the first time users of the digital increase, how do we ensure that we make the journey as frictionless as possible? How do we make it extremely convenient and easy for them as much as possible? One of the things that I said was Denso, as a first time to Denso, while I'm not first time to digital, as I downloaded Denso and I looked at the way it worked, it was a breeze. And it was like an amazing thing that, I could really navigate through it. It was very intuitive. It made me feel very comfortable to interact with a brand like that and say that, okay, I could do so. With video KYC, how banking and acquisition of a financial services product has become so much more seamless. With a few clicks, I'm able to really open my account. I do my KYC and all of it from the comfort of my home without physical documents, traveling from one hand to another. I'm able to interact. I'm able to really get onto a platform and I'm able to transact. Would be amazing. With so much things changing, it is also important to possibly for us as marketers, customer experience professionals, to relook at our entire construct of how we share information to our customer. One of the powers of digital is that, which we are very, very excited about, is that it allows me to get a segment of one. So you are able to give n is equal to 1. So you can do extremely hyper personalization is feasible and possible through this. How could I really look at vernacular, video content, hyper personalization to go together to weave an experience which would be out of the world for the customer and make him want to come back to our platform again and again to transact, is something which is a significantly high opportunity for us to look at. And that, if done well, would mean that the customer, even post at the end of the COVID era, continues to be on the online channel. One of the things that I hear in some forums is that there's a worry that once this is over, will people go back to the old habits? And I believe, and I'm putting my money saying that if we handle this well, and the longevity of this itself is making us as customers to stay to this new habit that we are forming of doing things from the comfort of our houses. All this happening is also another uh, outcome of that is that there's a significant surge in frauds. Uh, so much that people are not just doing phishing, wishing, but there's also a creation of fake websites, to creation of fake bills, lots of new interesting ways of online frauds have started to come up, and that's an area that as we move forward we have to be mindful of. And what are we going to do proactively to educate our customers, and b create digital safety in our product construct, in our platforms itself? How do we do that is a challenge, but it's something that we need to keep working on regularly. As I said, anxiety, it also has another aspect of it, saying that I'm kind of worried about, I need something, I need it now. I'm kind of not too sure whether you'll be available at this time. Physical brick and mortar construct always had a working hours, and now with this COVID, they work on skeletal staff because they kind of have to rotate to ensure physical distancing and ensure safety. Call centers cannot be at one place because of you have distributed call centers now. So work hours are not as long as it used to be. It's kind of beginning to get to back to normal, but there is a worry that I have as a customer, and I'm worried that if I need something from you, would you be available at that point in time? And that, how do we address that part and be reachable and available to customer at a channel of his choice is a very crucial aspect in this phase of as we move to unlock. And technology, friends, some of us are using technology beautifully. Some of us in the banking financial services invested much earlier. Some, those who have not, possibly are starting to move. But if you use them well, and which, voice bots and chat bots can be an amazing force multiplier. All your lot of simple queries and issues could be addressed by these chatbots, freeing your workforce to really spend quality time on those interactions which are very emotive, which are very complex, and which require more time to be spent with customers, making customers feel more wanted, more heard, and taken care of. So how do we use this is a critical part of this way forward. DIY journey. Many people, if you like, for example, Amazon or an Uber, and we have been using it for some time, for a long time now, I don't need to call them ever. I just have to look at their app and I am able to find answers to all my questions almost always. It's a very seldom thing that I need to kind of reach out to them and ask for something to happen. It's so seamlessly done through the DIY journey. Could we create such DIY journeys on our platforms as different industries, categories? Some of us we at our bank have started on that journey to see that how do we not just have a voice bot and a chat bot and ability to really move from a virtual agent to a live agent, but also how do we give them a DIY journey? How do we give them FAQs, easy, simple answers to their bulk of their queries? How do we really leverage technologies and also make digital servicing, assisted digital servicing in our branches? One of the things that you would know of, some of us who have interacted with in the BFSI space would know that when you walk into a branch and you make a request, you more often walk up with a token number saying this is your request, it takes some time. Why is that the construct? Because as a maker checker, you need to ensure that some of the system access are not available at the front, it's all at the back. But with technology, could I really seamlessly manage and do that where you walk in, not only do I give a request, I'm authenticated to know that he's the customer, and I walk back with my request completed. While we want to avoid physical office, if you have to still go, how do we do it? A lot of firms are also trying out new concepts, saying that even if I have to take a packet, can there be an automated delivery system where it's like a box and the packet is delivered into the box, and at a comfort and convenience, can customer pick up from that box at his chosen time, and he may have a couple of days to pick it up from. Those are ideas that firms are exploring, which in my mind would really go a long way in shaping the experience of the customers. Moving away from just being a reactive service provider to a proactive. And technology can help us do that. I know that you are on my website. I know that you're looking for something, and I see that you are stuck for a few nanoseconds or a few seconds. Could I pop up a question and say, hey, can I help you here? I think you were looking for this or this. Could I help you? How could I help you? It just being present makes me feel that, there's somebody out there who cares for me, somebody out there who is going to help me navigate through this entire journey. I'm not, because a lot of us, as I mentioned, are going to be first times onto this digital journey. How can I help you to navigate, and how do I help you to really find your way, solve your problems quicker, and therefore make it far more convenient for you, so that you can spend time where you think you want to spend your time. Amazing thoughts. Can that be happening? Collaboration tools today are existing which help you to do so, right from your screen sharing to a video calls to a chat on the conversation could happen there itself. Some of us are using it, some are in the process, but these are the way forward. And I see that there are discussions lined up in the conversations today which are going to spend more time on it. So look forward to hearing some engaging conversations there. How do I leverage data to really know? So if I know that you come to me at so and so time for so and so types of queries, could I kind of address? Could I kind of proactively reach out to you and address your query even before you reached out to me? Those are things which would possibly, in my mind, be very, very critical. And finally, is about how often do I listen to my customers? How often do I listen to my customers and speak to him, uh, take his feedback and act on it? Listen, act, and engage back with him is going to be very critical. Yeah. So I am told I need to wrap up my session in 5 minutes. So do I have some more time, Sri Lakshmi? Or otherwise I'm done. The last piece in my mind is how do we keep engaging with the customer to make him feel more comfortable and confident that he can face this, and we can all do it together. We can all fight this and come out winners together. I think that's the essential key as well in terms of what do I communicate, how do I communicate, is going to be very critical and essential.